everyone, I am Dr. Priyanka Sachdev here, NEET PG educator on Unacademy. I welcome you all for this session. Today I am here to discuss a series known as Most Probable MCQs for NEET PG 2021. We all know NEET PG is about to come and I want you to practice maximum clinical questions, new pattern questions before it arrives. So I have started the series for you, and in this series from the pathology today I have taken the first system, that is renal system. So from renal system, I will help you in solving the MCQs. I will show you many clinical MCQs, image-based MCQs, new pattern MCQs. I will give you the MCQs and help you how to solve those MCQs, take the clues, and how new MCQs can be framed out of it. So without wasting time, we are just starting it. So in any exam, almost 50% are the repeat questions and 50% are the new questions. For repeat questions, you have to solve your past year questions, past year papers, at least last 3 year questions you have to solve. For new questions, you have to understand the theory. You have to read the theory extensively. So here in this series, I will try, you should have a balance. So many questions I have framed new, clinical new pattern questions, and some of them are the most important repeat questions which are repeated many times. So let me start. This is the first question. Read the question. First read the question, then we will take the clues from it, and then we will try to solve it. So just read the question. Have your guess. What is your guess from the 4 options? And then we will discuss what is the correct answer. So I will also read the question and help you in solving it. So, okay. So 8-year-old boy. So age is a clue. First, the boy, it is a child. So first clue in the question given is the child. So always in clinical question, try to take the clues while reading question. So 8-year-old boy with fever. Fever is a clue. Patient is having fever. Sore throat. Sore throat is a clue. So fever along with sore throat may be some bacterial infection. So patient is having some bacterial infection first, followed by after bacterial infection or after some infection causing the pharyngitis or tonsillitis, he is having dark colored urine. Dark urine means blood in the urine. Dark urine. The word dark means RBC in the urine. Again a clue. So patient is having hematuria. Indirectly it is said the patient is having hematuria. And periorbital edema. So patient is having edema also. So hematuria along with edema means nephritic syndrome. We know there are two types of syndrome, nephritic and nephrotic. Hematuria occurs in nephritic, not in nephrotic. Edema occurs in both, but edema in nephritic is mild and only around the periorbit, in periorbital region, and in nephrotic it is severe and all over the body. So it is periorbital mild edema. So it is nephritic syndrome. Now coming on, आगे और पढ़ते हैं. Let's come ahead. Renal biopsy shows glomeruli filled with neutrophils and histiocytes. So again a clue given in the question that glomerulus is hypercellular proliferative glomerulus showing neutrophils, abundant of neutrophils, that is inflammatory cells inside the glomerulus, and histiocytes. Again one more clue. Electron microscopy reveals several large dome shaped subepithelial deposits. So subepithelial deposits are there. So many clues in the question. So what will be your ultimate diagnosis? Looking at all the clues, all the clinical scenario, you should give an ultimate diagnosis. The 4 options in front of you are diabetic glomerulosclerosis, membranous glomerulonephritis, minimal change glomerulonephritis, or acute proliferative glomerulonephritis. What will be your answer? Yes. So yes, the correct answer here in this scenario is D, acute proliferative glomerulonephritis. Now why? Childhood is not most common age. It can occur in any age, but yeah, childhood is also a common age. It can occur in childhood also. Fever followed by sore throat. This is the biggest clue given. So patient is having group A beta streptococcus pharyngitis followed by renal failure, followed by acute renal failure, and patient is having nephritic syndrome. Dark urine means hematuria is there and periorbital edema is there. So patient is having nephritic syndrome. Nephritic syndrome following bacterial infection, bacterial pharyngitis. So the only diagnosis is acute proliferative glomerulonephritis. It is also known as post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis, acute proliferative glomerulonephritis. One more big clue in the question is subepithelial deposits, and these are large, known as lumpy, bumpy, dumpy deposits. So correct answer here is D. Now let me explain this question to you via some theory. Then based on that theory, I will learn some other MCQs also that you have to solve. So I am talking about acute proliferative glomerulonephritis, APGN. also known as PSGN, post streptococcal glomerulonephritis, PSGN. So APGN and PSGN one and the same thing. पहले तो ये याद करो. First learn it. APGN और PSGN एक ही चीज होता है, एक ही तरह का glomerulonephritis है. What is the etiopathogenesis? Imagine a boy. I will draw a diagram for you. Just a second. Imagine a boy, a child. So this is the child or a boy. He is having pharyngitis. So this is the bacteria. This is the bacteria entering. This is group A. Group A beta streptococcus bacteria. Group A beta streptococcus bacteria entering inside, causing pharyngitis in the boy. And this is the blood vessel of the boy. After causing pharyngitis, the bacteria is entering in the blood vessel. Via blood vessel, the bacteria is going to the kidneys of the child. The bacteria is reaching the kidney. The bacteria is reaching the kidney of the child, and after going in the kidney, what the kidney contains? The kidney contains nephron. So it is going inside the nephron. So this is a nephron. You can see the 5 parts of the nephron. In the 5 parts of the nephron, the bacteria is going via afferent arteriole. This is the afferent arteriole going inside, forming a tuft of capillary, and efferent arteriole is coming out. So afferent arteriole. So in the kidney, this bacteria is going in the afferent arteriole, and this is the filtration membrane here. Let me draw it on another paper. So filtration barrier. How filtration barrier is drawn? What is the diagram of filtration barrier? There is a glomerulus basement membrane is at the center. There is endothelial cells on one side, and there is visceral podocytes on other side. These are the visceral podocytes on other side. So that bacteria is going on the basement membrane. Let me draw the bacteria with purple color. That bacteria, or let me draw it with black color. Bacteria got deposited here over the visceral epithelial cells or podocytes. Here the bacteria is deposited. Now पीछे उसके आएगी antibody. Body is forming antibodies, and antibodies is also coming via blood. So antigen antibody complexes are formed in C2. They are not formed in blood. They are formed in C2, and bacteria is planted over the podocytes. So this is the whole story written in front of you. Group A beta streptococcus infection causing pharyngitis or skin infection. Then via blood, it is going to kidney. In the kidney, going to basement membrane, depositing over the podocytes known as planted antigen. Then antibodies are formed. Antibody will form complex with the antigen in situ. Antigen antibody complexes are formed, and these are seen as subepithelial deposits. So the same diagram from Robbins, this one, you can see this one. You can see these are the podocytes. I'm marking with blue. These are the podocytes. I'm marking with yellow now. Can you see over the podocytes? Can you see the red dots? That is planted antigen, the bacterial antigen. And can you see these are the antibodies, Y-shaped antibodies in the blood. So antibodies are piche coming and binding with the antigen. Antigen antibody complexes are formed. So these are seen in the form of deposits known as subepithelial deposits. And grossly, it is Flea-Beaton kidney. Again, a very, very important MCQ. Flea-Beaton kidney. So kidney is looking like this. So multiple hemorrhagic spots. Small spots over the kidney. Can you see? It is known as flea. ऐसा लग रहा है kidney को flea ने काट लिया. Flea is a insect. So flea-beaten kidney. Coming on microscopy, here the glomerulus is hypercellular. Can you see? This is the glomerulus. It is hypercellular, containing abundant of neutrophils. So this is the hallmark of APGN. The full form of APGN is acute proliferative glomerulonephritis. Proliferative means hypercellularity. So glomerulus is hypercellular. Another name is post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis, PSGN, because it is after streptococcal infection. So you can see the same diagram here also. This is the glomerulus, and inside the glomerulus abundant of neutrophils are present and histiocytes are present. So compare it with normal. This is the normal glomerulus, and compare this glomerulus with this glomerulus. See this. It is hypercellular or proliferative glomerulus. The one and the same thing. Proliferative by neutrophils. Done. On electron microscopy, you will see subepithelial deposits. So here the antigen antibody complexes are formed here. Can you see? They are formed here over the epithelium. So subepithelial deposits, the big deposits, it is known as lumpy, bumpy, dumpy deposits. Can you see here the pink color deposits I am marking with red? These are the deposits on the subepithelial side, visceral, and these deposits are made up of IgG, not IgA. IgG plus C3. So the composition is IgG plus C3, and these are granular, not linear. These are granular. So granular. So 3 microscopy: light microscopy, electron microscopy, immunofluorescent microscopy. Light microscopy is used to see histology. Electron microscopy is used to see location of deposits. Location. and immunofluorescence is used to see composition of deposits. So on light microscopy, say one word. Who will tell me one word on light microscopy? The main word here is hypercellular glomerulus, hypercellular or proliferative glomerulus. On electron microscopy, who will tell me the location? It is subepithelial. And on immunofluorescence, who will tell me the composition? It is C3 plus IgG, and it is granular also. Tell me the shape, granular also. So the three microscopies are in front of you, and it is presenting as nephritic syndrome, not nephrotic syndrome. So that was all about APGN. Any question on APGN can be cracked by you people now. So read the next question. Read the next question. This is the next question in front of you. What is the pathogenesis of APGN, acute proliferative glomerulonephritis, also known as PSGN? So one and the same thing. What is the pathogenesis? Why the glomerulonephritis is happening? So the four options are in front of you. Is it cytotoxic T cell mediated? Is it immune complex mediated? Is it antibody mediated? Or is it cell mediated? Yes, the correct answer here is immune complex mediated. Don't go for antibody. It is antigen antibody complexes which are formed in the subepithelium and causing this glomerulonephritis. So the correct answer here is B. I have already explained it why it is the correct answer. This is the next question. The question contains except. Please see, the question contains except. All are true about PSGN, post streptococcal glomerulonephritis. All of the following are true about PSGN except. So what are the options? Crescent formation, subepithelial deposits, granular deposits of IgG, or deposits of IgA. So except is asked in the question. So any guess? What is the correct answer? Except is asked. What is not happening in PSGN? Yes. Any guess? Yes. The correct answer here is D. Because the deposits are made up of IgG, not IgA. Deposits are made up of IgG in all glomerulonephritis except IgA nephropathy, जिसमें नाम में ही लिखा है कि deposits are IgA. यहाँ पे deposit IgA के नहीं बनेंगे. Deposits are made up of IgG only. Subepithelial deposits होते ही हैं. You will ask मैम crescent तो RPGN में होते हैं. There are three types of RPGN, type 1, 2, 3, and type 2 RPGN is PSGN only. So I can say PSGN may be crescents होते हैं in the form of type 2 RPGN. So this option is also correct. So incorrect among them is D, because deposits are not made up of IgA, they are made up of IgG. I hope I'm clear to you. This is the next question in front of you. This is the next question in front of you. Subepithelial humps are characteristic feature of which type of glomerulonephritis? Minimal change disease, that is MCD, membranous glomerulonephritis, that is MGN, membranoproliferative glomerulonephritis, MPGN, और post streptococcal glomerulonephritis, PSGN. किसमें होते हैं? Subepithelial deposits are present in which disease? So just now I have told you subepithelial deposits are seen in PSGN. The correct answer here is D. Subepithelial humps, lumpy, dumpy, bumpy deposits, big deposits. Done. So correct answer here is D. This is next question. PSGN presents as what? Is it presenting as dense deposit disease, or is it presenting as RPGN, rapidly progressive glomerulonephritis, nephrotic syndrome, or nephritic syndrome? Just now in the theory I told you the answer. Any guess? Nephritic and nephrotic, it present as nephritic. Now what are the differences between nephritic and nephrotic syndrome? Many question MCQs come on this concept. Nephritic syndrome and nephrotic syndrome. Nephrotic syndrome, nephritic and nephrotic syndrome. In nephritic syndrome, patient presents with blood in urine known as hematuria. So hematuria is a feature of nephritic syndrome. Hematuria never occurs in nephrotic. So patient comes to you with dark urine, blood in urine, smoky urine. It is nephritic syndrome. It is not nephrotic syndrome. Nephrotic syndrome में ऐसा नहीं होता. Hematuria. Number 1. Edema present in both. Edema is present in both, but here it is mild and present only over periorbital area. Periorbital. Here it is severe and it is all over the body. That is anasarca is there. Proteinuria, यूरिन में प्रोटीन, यूरिन में ब्लड तो इसमें होता है, इसमें नहीं होता है. व्हाट अबाउट यूरिन में प्रोटीन? प्रोटीन्यूरिया भी दोनों में होता है. प्रोटीन्यूरिया लाइक एडिमा, प्रोटीन्यूरिया प्रेजेंट इन बोथ. सो यूरिन में प्रोटीन, इट इज प्रेजेंट इन बोथ, बट हियर इट इज माइल्ड and non-specific. Here it is severe, more than 3 gram per day. Severe, and it is, since proteinuria is severe, it is leading to hypoalbuminemia. Hypoalbuminemia is not a feature of nephritic. It is a feature of nephrotic. That is decreased concentration of albumin in the blood. Apart from it, hypertension again is a feature of nephritic, not nephrotic. But hypercoagulability, hyperlipidemia and hyperlipiduria are features of nephrotic, not nephritic. So learn the features separately. They will give you clues in the question. Reading the question, first thing you should decide what it is. Is it the scenario of nephritic or is it the scenario of nephrotic? Now you should know the list of the glomerulonephritis, which among them present as nephritic and which of the glomerulonephritis present as nephrotic. So I hope you already know the list. Yes. The correct answer here is nephritic. ये nephritic में आएगा. This is the next question. Very easy question. All of you should be correct in this. Acute diffuse proliferative glomerulonephritis. Again, I am talking about same. Acute proliferative glomerulonephritis will have all of the following features except. Again, the question contains except. So is it hematuria? Yes, it has hematuria because it is nephritic syndrome. Raised urea level? Yes, kidney will fail. Renal failure will be there. So urea and creatinine will increase in blood because kidney excrete urea, kidney excrete creatinine. Since kidney is not functioning, acute renal failure is there. So blood, urea and creatinine level will rise. So these both options are correct. But hypoalbuminemia is a feature of nephrotic syndrome. It is not a feature of nephritic syndrome. And here in APGN, we have nephritic syndrome. That's why hypoalbuminemia will not occur here. So our answer is hypoalbuminemia D because except is asked in the question. I hope my concepts are crystal clear to you. I am trying my best. Yes, this is the next question. Again, the question is same, options are different. Question is which of the following is not a feature of PSGN, post streptococcal glomerulonephritis. So it is presenting as nephritic in nephrotic? First you tell me. It is presenting as nephritic. I have told you many times it is presenting as nephritic. So hypertension is a feature of nephritic? Yes, it occurs. Increased urea? Yes, it occurs. Increased creatinine? Yes, it occurs. Because renal failure के बाद urea and creatinine rise in blood. But normal C3 level? No. C3 level will fall because in PSGN, subepithelial deposits are formed. I have told you the deposits are made up of what? They are made up of C3 plus IgG. So C3 from the blood is taken for forming this deposit. So blood C3 level will fall. It is not normal. So that's why correct answer here is D because except is asked on the question. Give me a thumbs up again. Have you got it? Have you got the concept? Again, the next question. Now it is an image based question. Very good question. I want you should solve this question. First, have a look. So the glomerulonephritis shown in the image. What is true about it? Four options are given. So first, identify from the image. It is a classical image of one of the glomerulonephritis. You know all type of glomerulonephritis. It is a classical image of which glomerulonephritis? You tell me. So it is a classical image of what you see, what you are saying. Should I highlight? Should I highlight the pathology? You can see two glomerulus. This is one glomerulus and this is another. So inside it, what is the pathology? Try to zoom it out and see the pathology. You can see the crescent. Can you see a crescent here? Here in this glomerulus, in the other, try to see the crescent. This one. This is the crescent in the second one. So can you see the two crescents here? Very beautiful diagram. Diagram is self-depictive. The diagnosis is crescent glomerulonephritis, also known as RPGN, rapidly progressive glomerulonephritis. Now, what is true about it? So it is characterized by presence of intramembranous dense deposit, atrophic PCT, hyalinized small arterioles, or epithelial cell crescents. So, of course, crescent formation is the hallmark in RPGN. So, correct answer here is D. So, I am erasing it. Try to see it again. Try to see it again. The crescents. I want you to appreciate the crescents. I want you people, I'm sorry. I want you people to appreciate the crescents. Can you see this crescent here? This one. This is a crescent. And can you see this crescent here? This one. This is a crescent. So please appreciate any of the image can come. So correct answer here is D. So let me tell you. So in RPGN, multiple crescents are formed and crescent formation is the pathogmatic feature of RPGN. And prognosis depends on the number of crescent. More crescents are there, poorer is the diagnosis. Less crescents are there, good is the diagnosis. So you can see here the crescent is very clearly visible here. This is a crescent. This is a crescent. This is the crescent. So crescent formation. So glomerulus is hypercellular, proliferative along with crescent formation. So next question in front of you. Please read the question. A patient presenting with two complaints. Number one, hemoptysis. What do you mean by hemoptysis? Blood in sputum, blood in cuff, blood in sputum is known as hemoptysis along with renal failure. So her lungs are gone, respiratory system, and her kidney is gone. So two organs are involved because he is having kidney failure also. He is having blood in the sputum means some problem in the lungs also. So lung and kidney, two organs are involved. And patient's blood have anti-basement membrane antibodies. So what is your diagnosis? The four options are in front of you. What are the four options? It is Goodpasture syndrome, Wagner syndrome, Churg-Strauss syndrome, or HS purpura. Yes. Yes. So any guess? Any guess? Very easy question. The correct answer here is of course Goodpasture. So what is Goodpasture syndrome? Goodpasture syndrome, the other name of Goodpasture syndrome is anti-GBM, anti-glomerular basement membrane disease. It is type 1 RPGN. Rapidly progressive glomerulonephritis is of three types, type 1, 2, 3. Type 1 is Goodpasture only. Example of type 1 is Goodpasture only. So here what is happening, I will draw a diagram for you. So as I have told you, this is kidney. Inside the kidney, nephrons are present. This is the nephron. 1 million nephron is present in each kidney. So kidney contains nephron. Inside the nephron, this is afferent arteriole forming a tuft of capillary, and efferent arteriole is coming out. So can you see the filtration membrane here? Let me draw it separately. So this is the basement membrane. On one side of the basement membrane, this is endothelial cells, and on other side of the basement membrane, these are epithelial. Visceral podocytes are epithelial cells. Now what is happening? This basement membrane is made up of what? Basement membrane का composition क्या है? It is made up of collagen. Which collagen? Type 4 collagen. Type 4 collagen. That is the composition of basement membrane. So our body, human body, will form antibodies against this collagen in some of the humans. It is an autoimmune disease. So body will form antibodies against this collagen, and that antibody will bind with the collagen. So antigen antibody complexes are formed in situ against a fixed antigen. It is not planted from outside like PSGN. Here the antigen is fixed. Antigen is body's own tissue. Type 4 collagen का alpha chain, alpha 3 chain. So उसके against ये antibodies बन गई. So antigen antibody complexes are formed where? Intramembranous. The complexes are formed intramembranous. And in the lung, in the alveoli, these are the two lungs. Inside the alveoli, same basement membrane is present. So these antibody will cross react there also. So patient will come to us with two problems. Number one, patient will have acute renal failure. Number two, patient will have blood in the sputum. So lungs and kidney both involving simultaneously, and along with anti-basement membrane antibodies in the blood. So it is nothing else, it is Goodpasture. So in Goodpasture, what is the antigen? You tell me. Antigen is a component of type 4 collagen. In the basement membrane, it is known as fixed antigen. Antibodies, autoantibodies are formed against it. So in the kidney, they will cause acute renal failure, and in the lung, they will cause pulmonary hemorrhage. That's why blood and sputum. So that is the history of glomerulus, all thing about Goodpasture syndrome. What is the antigen? As I have told you, it is type 4 collagen. Type 4 collagen में which chain? It is alpha 3 chain. Alpha 3 chain. उसका NC1 domain, non-collagenous 1 domain. So that is the exact antigen against which antibodies are. Next clinical question, that was about Goodpasture syndrome. Many clinical questions come on Goodpasture syndrome. So while reading the question, if your two systems are involved, lungs and kidney, so you should have a strong suspicion of Goodpasture syndrome. Coming on the next question, the next clinical question is in front of you. Please be fast. What is the question? A 7-year-old child is there, girl child. So it is a girl child. It is a child. The age is 7-year-old. Take the clues. Presents with generalized swelling all over the body. All over the body swelling is there. Urine examination is showing grade 3 proteinuria. So severe proteinuria with severe edema. So it is nephrotic syndrome, not nephritic. It is nephrotic. I have told you the differences in the beginning now. It is type 3, grade 3 proteinuria along with severe edema. And she is having no history of hematuria, no blood in the urine, no hematuria, no blood in the urine. Again, blood is seen in nephritic. It is not seen in nephrotic. So my diagnosis is confirmed. This child is having nephrotic syndrome. Now, what is the most common cause of nephrotic syndrome in a child? Tell me two things. Most common cause of nephrotic syndrome in child, most common cause of nephrotic syndrome in adults. Yeah, most common cause of nephrotic syndrome in child and in adults. Who will tell me? Yes. So most common cause of nephrotic syndrome in child. The answer is minimal change disease. So what is true about minimal change disease? Why it is known as minimal change? Because no deposits are seen on the renal biopsy. So correct answer here is A. Other three options are wrong. If it is Alport syndrome, na, sensory neural deafness and cataract in the eye should be there. That is not given in the question. If it is IgA nephropathy, hematuria should be a feature. So hematuria mana bola hai, hematuria nahi hai. Or C3 levels are low. No, C3 levels are normal in MCD because no deposits are formed. So other three options are incorrect. So this is how new pattern clinical questions can come in your exam. So you should be aware about it. So my ultimate motto is this. So from the clinical question, how to take the clues and how to do the interpretation. So take the clues, compile all clues together and reach towards a diagnosis. So this is the approach towards a clinical question. So correct answer here is A. Have you got it? So what is minimal change disease? Let me explain this question to you. What is minimal change disease, MCD? Why it is known as minimal change? Because on light microscopy you see nothing, no change. Glomerulus is absolutely normal, absolutely. Also known as nil deposit disease because no deposits are formed, neither subepithelial nor subendothelial nor intramembranous nor mesangial. Deposit kahin nahi banta hai. It is the most common cause of nephrotic syndrome in children. 80% it occurs in children only. And here on light microscopy, glomerulus is absolutely normal. Normal. Can you see? Glomerulus is normal. Normal. No hypercellularity. No proliferation. So glomerulus is absolutely normal here. Glomerulus is absolutely normal. On electron microscopy, you will see flattening of the food process. So food process got flattened. I would like to draw a diagram for you. So I will draw two diagrams. This is normal and this is MCD. This is MCD. So this is basement membrane in both of them. It is same in both of them. This is endothelial cells which are same in both of them. Endothelial cells on one side, same in both of them. Flattened endothelial cells. But podocytes normally they are in the shape of podocyte. They are shaped in the form of foot. That's why known as podocytes. And here the podocytes become flattened. So this is the abnormality. So compare it now. Now it is crystal clear to you. This is known as flattening of podocyte, also known as effacement. Effacement of podocyte, or also known as loss of podocyte, loss of visceral podocyte, whatever you say. That is the abnormality seen on electron microscopy, not on light microscopy. So investigation of choice is electron. So you can see here it is flattening of the podocytes. You can see, compare the two. So compare the two. See normal podocytes here and see podocyte got flattened here. So flattening, loss of food processes, flattening of the podocytes is there. So that is the thing. So you have compared it with normal. You can see under immunofluorescence, no deposits, no deposits. So light microscopy, no abnormality. Immunofluorescence, no deposits. But only on electron microscopy, you will see fusion of food process or loss of food process, effacement of food process, flattening of food process, whatever of food process. Clinically, it presents as nephrotic syndrome in children, not nephritic. Prognosis is very good. They respond dramatically to steroids. Dramatic response to steroids. Again, next question based on the same scenario. So read the question. Again, take the clues fast. It is a 10-year-old child. Again, child presents with edema. Edema is present and decreased urine output. So oliguria is there. On evaluation, serum albumin is 2.5. What is normal serum albumin range? Normal serum albumin range is more than 3.5, 3.5 to 5. It is 2.5, so patient is having hypoalbuminemia. So patient is having nephrotic syndrome. In nephrotic syndrome, hypoalbuminemia is present. No RBCs. Again, hematuria is absent and severe proteinuria. So all the things are pointing towards nephrotic syndrome. So patient, all the clues given in the question, if I compile all, it is nephrotic syndrome in a child. Most common cause of nephrotic syndrome in a child is minimal change disease. So the correct answer among them is B. So this is how you should approach a question. This is the next question in front of you. It is a tricky question. Don't rush. Very tricky question. Please read the question first. What is true about light microscopy of minimal change disease? What you will see on light microscopy? So the four options are in front of you. Loss of food process, anti-GBM antibodies, IgA deposits, or no change. Now most of the students in hurry, they see okay, what is asked about minimal change disease, MCD के लिए question है, to answer they just in rush they mark the answer as A. So loss of food processes seen. No, this is the wrong answer. It is not the answer because it is asked on light microscopy. If instead of light microscopy इलेक्ट्रॉन माइक्रोस्कोपी पूछा होता तो ए आंसर होता, लेकिन यहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रॉन माइक्रोस्कोपी नहीं पूछा है, लाइट माइक्रोस्कोपी पूछा है. लाइट माइक्रोस्कोपी पे नो चेंजेस सीन, ग्लोमेरुलस इज एब्सोल्युटली नॉर्मल. सो करेक्ट आंसर हियर इज ए, इज डी, नॉट ए. आई होप यू गॉट इट. सो टू क्वेश्चंस यू हैव टू लर्न. लाइट माइक्रोस्कोपी पूछा है तो आंसर क्या होगा, इलेक्ट्रॉन पूछा है तो आंसर क्या होगा. लाइट माइक्रोस्कोपी पूछा है तो आंसर नो चेंजेस सीन, नॉर्मल ग्लोमेरुलस. That's why known as minimal change. कोई change नहीं मिलेगा, minimal change मिलेगा. और on electron microscopy there is loss of food process, effacement of food process. So here light microscopy पे question था. Next question is in front of you. Again a difficult, tricky question. What is true about minimal change disease? Read the options. What is true? It appears normal under light microscope and electron microscope shows loss of food process. Yes, it is normal. Light पे normal दिखेगा और electron microscope पे loss of food process दिखेगा. This is there. Mesangial deposit, no, deposit तो कहीं होंगे ही नहीं. Tram track, mesangial deposit seen in IgA nephropathy. Tram track appearance is seen in membranous glomerulonephritis. And gross hematuria is a feature of nephritic syndrome. And in MCD, there is nephrotic syndrome. So all these options are incorrect. You should know why they are incorrect. So that is the approach. So my purpose here to show you what is the approach, how you should approach your questions, how your questions should be approached. So thank you so much. That these were only few questions. If you want all questions, not only on renal pathology, if you want questions on GIT pathology, CVS pathology, respiratory pathology, endocrine pathology, if you want question on all systemic pathology along with more questions on renal, along with image based question practice, if you want all these, all of them are available for free. Where? Not on YouTube. They are available on Unacademy Learners app. So go to the Play Store, install Unacademy Learners app, go to NEET PG category, select NEET PG category as a goal. After that, search my name. My name is Dr. Priyanka Sachdev. Priyanka Sachdev. Search my name under NEET PG category. You will find my profile link there. Please follow my profile link. You will get all recordings together. So whatever recording you want to listen, you listen it. It is available for free, but you require a code. I'm giving you code also. So code is Sachdev10. You got the process? Code is Sachdev10. SACHDEV Sachdev10. That is my name, Priyanka Sachdev. So use this code, unlock the lectures and see. So all lectures are available under free special classes. These free special classes are more interactive than YouTube classes. There is the option of poll. There is an option for raise a hand. You will never miss a class because you will always get notification and notes are available. अगर ये भी notes चाहिए तो वहाँ पे available है. Just go now and download the notes. So that is available on free platforms, special classes. What about paid platform? There are two paid platforms. Two things in the paid platform. Two subscription, Plus and Iconic. On Plus, you will get Unacademy live and recorded lectures from India's top educators, along with live quiz and test and printed notes, along with 25,000 question bank. In Iconic, along with Unacademy, you will get prep ladder recorded lectures also. My new batch is coming, that is Target 2023. So I advise, recommend all the students who are targeting next 2023 should take the subscription and take advantage of this batch. Along with this, there are the other batches available on the platform for FMG, Next and NEET PG students. You can see which batches are available. Along with it, there is one more 1 month package available for the next NEET PG 2021. The price is only 4,500. You will get additional 10% discount if you use my code. My code is Sachdev10. Along with it, there is more than 25,000 questions available on the Plus platform for practice, image-based question, new pattern questions. So, two last offers. If you take 12-month subscription, you will get 2 month additional extra at the same price. And if you take a 4-year subscription, the price is very nominal. For Plus, it is 60,000 and for Iconic, it is 75,000. It is the cheapest subscription available with us. You can see other subscriptions are also available. In Plus, it is starting from 2 months till 4 years. In Iconic, it is starting from 12 months till 4 years. And you can fix monthly installments also. So it is almost 1100, 1200 for Plus and 1400 for Iconic. So longer the plan you take, cheaper it is. Cheaper it is. So first prof, second prof should go for 4-year plan. Otherwise, for interns, 1 month plan is also available. Any plan you choose, whatever plan you are choosing from Plus, Iconic, use the code Sachdev10. You will get additional 10% discount on all the plans. Thank you so much. Stay connected and see you on the special classes. Okay, see you. Bye-bye.